when you spend a lot of your time decoding the matrix and looking into the characteristics of humanity's DNA and all of these different things that deal with the foundation and the blueprints of life, life itself becomes lighter in a way. But it also becomes heavier because the deeper you go into your understanding, the less you focus on really caring about certain things because it just gets overwhelming. And the thoughts that go through my mind, I imagine them as the balls in a lottery machine. And you have all of these numbers that represent the many different ideas and questions and doubts and inspirations and everything that could possibly exist out there. And at any given moment, a number could pop out, and that's what you're going to focus on. And today, I was just thinking about humanity's consciousness and if people are aware of the reasons that they're frustrated and why they feel as if they're suffering and all of these, lower vibrational frequencies that we find ourselves in. And I tried to go as deep as I could to the beginning of life. And it became funny to me because I imagined a bubble. Like you get those bubbles from the 99-cent store, the dollar store. And you have the stick in there and you dip it in the bubble juice and then you blow and it's a bubble that comes out and that bubble just it floats for a little bit and then it disappears. And I said to myself, why am I thinking about bubbles right now? This is a serious question. I'm trying to get to the bottom of life. And I'm trying to get into a clear understanding about distress and anxiety and depression and anger and frustration and all of these lower frequencies. So why are you thinking about bubbles right now? And then it hit me that everyone's frustrated because they came into existence. They literally just were here out of nowhere. And I said to myself, I said, wow, that's fascinating. Am I the only person that thinks about this type of weird stuff? I'm sitting here just randomly thinking about all of these different thoughts, and then I think about bubbles, and then I realize that the bubble is us. Each individual is a bubble. You just existed. That's the beginning. Like you just started existing. You just came out of nowhere. You came out of someone's vagina and just started existing. And you don't remember anything. You don't remember where you came from. You have no idea why you're here. You don't know why you're trying to think and move one way and everybody's telling you to do something different, of course the world is going to be frustrated. Of course people are going to be flipping out and having fits and killing people and, all of these devastating and horrible things. Of course it's going to happen because everybody is like, I just started existing and I have no idea how. Like, it takes people years. It takes people years to get a clue about the possibility of a past life or to get a clue about their human design blueprint. It takes years. But in the meantime, you literally just came out of nowhere and started floating. You just started floating as an object through time and space on this rock called Earth, and you just kept getting bigger. You kept growing your feet, your hands. You started saying more words, and your hair was growing, and you had to get more clothes, and you started eating different food, and things just kind of were happening because you just came out of nowhere and started existing. And life's taking you. You just were a bubble that came out of water. And just as quickly as you're the bubble that came out of water, you're gone. That's the life. That's the life of a human being. You're here for a minute and you're gone. And then more bubbles come. They're here for their time. Some bubbles float longer than others, But that's life. And I just watch people and I think about my past and the things that I've done in my past that I would label as stupid and idiotic and insensitive and all of these negative things, naive, oblivious. And I realized, well, did I really have a choice? Because I just came out of nowhere and just started existing in a place that, I'm not really familiar with. But I was being dominated and controlled by people who I didn't know, and clearly they didn't know me, because I can look back and see the things that I was taught to do that just really don't even match up with who I truly am. So I can see why I was doing stupid stuff. Trying to find a way out, trying to find my way into correctness. Trying to get to a place of understanding what is going on. Because underneath everything that we see on the surface of people's lives, whether they're aware of it or not, the question is, what is going on? I just was here one day. I just came in one day. I came into the world, came out of the world. I don't even know where I came from. I just started existing. And the world said, at some point you're gonna have to learn how to ride a bike. You're gonna have to learn how to drive a car. You're gonna have to go out and learn stuff from books that don't necessarily tell the truth. And then you're gonna get tested on those things to see where you fit in society and if you're smart or if you're a delinquent. And you're gonna have to stop at stop signs, and in some places you can't jaywalk. In other places, don't feed the birds. And the food that you eat, you know, you're going to see the same type of food at every corner. And you're going to see the pharmacies at every corner, right across the street from those food places. So at some point, you know, you're going to have to get sick and take medication. You're going to have to avoid doing certain things, or else you might get put in a place with bars. And, you know, all of these rules that are just here already. You come in, you just start existing in a place that has a life that's already set up for you. And you got to figure out what fits you, what feels good for you. But you can't really figure it out because, you know, you're being programmed to do something, to do things that don't feel good, but because of so many people doing it, it's hard to be that one person and isolate yourself and alienate yourself and do something else. You don't really come in with that strength, because underneath all of that is pure confusion, pure unawareness. I think about the newborn babies that come in and they open their eyes and they're just, I wonder what's going on in their minds. Because, you know, when a baby's born, the energy is so sweet and loving and cuddly and beautiful and all of that good, warm and fuzzy stuff that we feel on the inside. But what about the babies? What are they thinking? Because I feel that the newborns, the babies, are smarter than the adults, you know. I feel that, you know, as we get older and we get more programmed by this world, our IQs get lower and lower. So I don't think the newborn babies, I don't think they're having the experience that we're having as the adults when we see them come into the world. Maybe that's why they start crying immediately, a lot of them. Because they don't understand. They're like, wait, what? I just came from a place of freedom. I just came from a place of infinite limitlessness. A place of no restriction. And how did I get into this what am I in right now? What is this? What is this? Talking about the body, of course. What is this thing? Because I'm sure their minds are like, I need to get out of here. But they can't go anywhere. They can't walk. They can't, you know, just crawl away or fly away like they're used to. Or teleport, or, you know, just instantly be somewhere else. They can't do that anymore. They're in this thing called a human body with so many limitations, and they have to wait. They have to wait to get to a point of being able to move on their own. They can't really say the words that they have in their minds. I'm sure the babies are talking a lot of smack to the adults at those early ages. All they can do is cry to get attention and to get food, you know. They're frustrated. I think they're frustrated. And they're still trying to figure out, who are you? What are you? What are you talking about? What is this place? That's why as soon as they can move around on their own, they're trying to find an exit. They're trying to get out. Everybody knows this. You watch babies. Where do they go? They go straight for the door. You got them in the crib. Oh, they're finding a way. They're trying to find a way out. They're trying to escape. But what happens is we just keep living. We keep waking up every day. And it gets more and more depressing for a lot of people because it's like, oh my God, I'm here again. And one of those days is, you're just not going to wake up the next day. But in the meantime, every day that you wake up, it's like this unconscious depression for a lot of people. It's like, oh my God, another day. Like, oh my God, it's been 30 years and I don't know how did I get trapped here on this planet? What's happening? Oh my God, look at my skin. Oh, I'm getting ugly. I'm getting fat, or, my breasts and my butt, they're starting to sag. Oh my God, my hair is falling out. Oh, I hate my life. Why do we get to that point? Because we just started existing. And we didn't get informed. Nobody informed us. That's what it feels like, at least. I'm sure something took place before we actually popped out of the womb. I'm sure there was, some higher level of conversation to prepare us for this particular experience, but we don't remember that, so it doesn't matter. For us, it's like, look, I don't know. I don't recall that. And I feel like I'm here based on somebody forcing me to be here. And I don't appreciate it. And the fact that I keep waking up every day and I have to be in this world of crazies, I have an attitude. I have an attitude with everyone. Oh my God. And now I'm pregnant. Now I have children. Now I'm like keeping the cycle going. So I'm still confused about how I just started existing, and now another one just came out of me, and now I got to deal with this. I got to deal with another one of these things, these humans. Yeah. It's a lot of conversation going on underneath whatever we're experiencing on the surface in our lives, because we're operating in a program that's beyond our personal control. All we can do is either fight it and get trampled, or surrender to it and go with the flow and understand that, look, however long this is going to be, I'm property of earth. I'm a slave to this matrix, and I just got to make the best of it. You can either get to that point, or you can just keep fighting it. Keep being frustrated, keep being angry with everyone, and keep hating your life, and all of these depressing things that most people go through. I used to have so many questions. Like, I used to want to know, like, everything. I'm still inquisitive, but I realized how much I don't care about things like how I used to, based on other people asking me questions that I used to ask, and me responding with the feeling of, oh, you want to know that? Why? What does it matter? You're here. Even if you were to know where you came from a million years ago, what does it matter right now? You're here. And being here means that, look, it's limitations. There are biological clocks. There are cycles. We're not in a realm of just being able to teleport from one side of the world to the other. Now, I'm sure there might be some super high vibrational beings who can do stuff like that and move in a different type of frequency. But for the majority of us, being realistic, we want to go to the other side of the world. We got to go through getting a passport, going through the government, getting on an airplane, going through all of these different things, getting jet lag, and we got to go through the physical limitations. And I was one of those people that was, always trying to find a way around stuff. Just refusing. I refused to follow the law. Like, there has to be a quick fix. There has to be a shortcut. It has to be, because I just can't stand these limitations. I don't like people telling me no. I don't like people questioning. I don't like people questioning my authority. Oh, those days of me and my naivety. I had to learn to relax. Relax and allow, surrender. Embrace and love this limited reality. It's only temporary. Even if you still have to go through 1,000,000 more lifetimes, it's still only temporary. You're infinitely limitless. You're forever. And you got to learn how to not take life so seriously. You're just a bubble. You're a bubble that just came into existence, floated a little bit, and you're going to pop one day. You may come back, you may not, but whatever the case may be, we're just here for a moment. And no matter how long it takes us to go through whatever we got to go through here, doesn't matter. Just enjoy it as much as you can. Everyone wants to fight for something or fight against something. And it's only because they're frustrated with not understanding how they just came into existence out of nowhere. Most people don't see their lives as a divine miracle with a divine plan. Most people don't look at life like that due to the circumstances that we see plaguing the planet right now. But you're a miracle. Like, I don't my mind just it floats about. But I came to that conclusion that, we all are miracles. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, we just appeared and started living. We just appeared as an organism with all of these different systems and all of these different aspects that make us work, like, you don't have to do anything to make your heart beat. You don't have to do anything to release waste out of your body. You don't have to do anything to blink or Like digest your food or breathe. Like you came in as a functioning organism, like out of nowhere. And it's beautiful. Think about that, guys. Think about how beautiful that is. And most people never get to a place of seeing the beauty in their life, seeing the beauty of coming into a world out of nowhere, just coming into existence out of nothingness and everythingness. And life is doing the work for you. Life is already set up it's already planned. It's like here. This experience is already laid out for you. Come and join for a moment and experience this human body. I appreciate not having to do anything to beat my heart or to breathe or to blink. Like, we would all be dead instantly if source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, wasn't already taking care of that for us. Can you imagine, like, trying to go to work, feed your kids, go to school, maintain a relationship, have sex, use a bathroom, do all of these different things, and you had to be responsible for beating your heart and for digesting your food and for breathing and for creating the moisture in your eyeballs and creating the saliva in your mouth? And can you imagine, like, what that would be like if you were responsible for that? It's just something to think about. This is my weird mind just floating about in outer space. It's somebody that could be listening to this recording right now who is a bubble that's going to pop today. They're not going to be here tomorrow. That's a possibility. At any given moment, any of us could just as quickly as we got here, however many years ago, we could be gone today. And we didn't really go anywhere, but as far as this limited body that we're in, it just really just stops existing. It stops working. Source says, okay, it's time to shut this one down. Let's shut this body down. So if you are listening to this, you have the opportunity to really look at life from a different perspective and embrace yourself as a walking, talking, living miracle. Because that's what you are. Everything's already laid out for you. The red carpet is already laid out for you. And it's up to you on how you choose to walk that red carpet. But it's still divine. It's still perfect. You can create the illusion that is terrible and devastating and horrible and painful, and you're more than welcome to create that for yourself. But you don't have to. There are infinite possibilities available here. Even in this limited world, this limited body. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to embrace yourself. Embrace yourself as that divine miracle with a divine plan. It's okay to have emotions. We're designed to experience emotions. That's how we gain our wisdom. That's how we grow and learn how to connect with others and experience desires and passions and wanting more experience. Emotions are very important, but you don't have to drown yourself in the ones that don't feel good and forget about the fact that you're a miracle. So I just really had to, take all of the pain and suffering in the world and turn it into a big, huge smile. Acceptance has been one of my biggest challenges in life. And it's due to that frustration, that feeling of being limited by this physical reality. And I finally got to a place to where I enjoy my neutral standpoint on life and accepting that pain and suffering is just a part of certain people's journey. I've dealt with pain and suffering. Everyone has at some point. But when you learn how to transcend those feelings and you let life take you and you let life give you the experiences that you need to gain clarity, that same pain and suffering is happiness and appreciation because your outlook has changed, your perspective has changed based on you gaining the experience that you needed to gain. And experience is the only thing that got me to a place of acceptance, accepting limitation. And being happy that, oh, I'm awake again. I woke up another day to see what life has in store for me. Even if I don't leave the house, just knowing that, wow, I woke up again. This is another opportunity to gain experience in this temporary life as this property of earth and this human body. You start to look at things differently and you start to love things differently. And you realize how much it doesn't feel good to associate yourself with pain and suffering. I don't think I will ever, not even I don't think, I don't feel that I will ever in my life say that I am suffering or this is so painful. Unless it's like, just an excruciating physical pain. But even with that, I've had some physical pains and it's as I'm having the pain, my mind is saying, that this is just the body's experience. Because my awareness and my consciousness is not in pain. It's literally watching my body feel something that just so happens not to feel good. Because my body has nerves and things and, it feels stuff physically because it's a physical thing, a physical bioform. So I experience pain, physical pain differently through my awareness. And of course, we're all capable of that, but we just have to keep living. That's the key. You got to just keep living. So many people are in a rush. They're trying to hurry up and get somewhere. Where are you trying to get to? Where are you going? There's only one destination for all of us. We're all bubbles that are going to pop. So where are you trying to get to? Slow down. And I used to be the one leading the fake race, the illusionary race. I used to be the one that was, we have to get here. Let's hurry up. Everybody, hurry up. Do what you need to do. We're going to lose out. We're going to miss out if we don't do this now. Acceptance. Appreciating being a walking, talking, living, breathing miracle. Life was handed to us on a platter. When you look at it from a bigger perspective, life was handed over to us on a platter. We can choose to be bougie about it or appreciate everything that's on that platter. You can choose to feel like it's not enough, it's not good enough. You don't like this, you don't like that, you got a problem with, you can choose to be like that. But I'm at a place to where I don't see the purpose. There's nothing in me that wants to resonate on those frequencies and those vibrations. And it's many other people that don't want to resonate on those frequencies and those vibrations, but the programming is so strong. The frustration of not understanding, how did I get here? Why am I here? How did I just, come into existence like this? We got to see the beauty in it. Just knowing that one day you're going to pop and not be here. It makes you think about the others that are going to come after you. And it kind of takes you out of the selfish mentality of, being all about yourself. I want to do something while I'm here, I know that I'm doing something. It's just happening. Life is making it happen. I know that I'm doing something that, can help many people have a better experience when they come into spontaneous existence. They can have a better experience and not feel like they're in pain and suffering for the majority of their temporary lives here on planet Earth. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy more things in life. We don't have to, try to figure out how to move things with our minds and, do all of the super duper high vibrational things. We don't have to focus on that. It's fascinating, yes. It would be great to have the ability to experience those things, but I got to a point to where I said, you know what, if I'm not floating right now, if I'm not levitating, if I'm not, doing all of these things that, people will look at as special magical powers, then, I'm just not meant to be doing that. And I don't care anymore. Doesn't mean that I'm less than anybody or that I'm not good enough. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just not meant for me to be doing that. And I've found happiness with what I am doing. I'm doing something that's practical, is easy for people to understand. It's something that, they can take with them and use for the rest of their lives. Like, I'm doing something that is just so much fun for me. And it helps people to elevate and to gain clarity and have peace within themselves and to really appreciate who they are as a unique individual. It's just so many perks to doing what I do. And it makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I can make other people feel good. And even if they don't feel good, if I try to make them feel good, then, that's okay, because that's their journey. And I respect people's journey. I respect what they have to go through. I honor it. Because only you can live your life. Nobody can live your life for you. Embrace yourself as a walking, talking, living, breathing miracle. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your hands. I do that a lot. I just look at my hands. I'm looking at DNA codons all day, doing human design stuff all day, and then I take moments and just stare at my hands, and I look at the lines. I look at the sacred geometry that we call fingerprints. I just look at it and I'm like, wow. So you mean to tell me, universal God, you mean to tell me that there is no other person that has these same type of lines like me in the same type of format and structure? Oh my goodness. So empowering. I feel so super duper when I stare at myself. I get up close and personal with my face sometimes. I just get all up in my pores. I'm like, wow, pores. Look at that. I look at my nails, and when they get long enough, they all bend down. They all curve on one side of the nail. And I remember when I was younger, I would try to get them to grow straight. I'm like, why do you get to a certain point and then just dip down like that, nails? Why do you do that? And now I'm just like, wow, curved nails. I have this mole like right above my lip on the left side, right under my left nostril. And I would just stare at it. I'm like, wow, a mole. I look at the hairs on my fingers and I'm like, I wonder why hair grows right there. What's so special about this area between the fist knuckles and the middle knuckles? I don't know if that's what you call them, but I'm just like, why? What is that hair there for? What is it there for? And I just get real up close and personal with it. I'm like, wow, finger hair. It's amazing. The body is really, it's truly amazing. Like, it's just, just the way that it's set up. I'm like, yo, if whoever constructed this, like whoever constructed human bodies, I'm so glad that, you put the eyebrows in this spot, because I don't know how I could deal with, not having eyebrows where they are. What if they were like under our eyeballs? Like, that will, oh my God, can you imagine like meeting somebody with eyebrows that were not above their eyeballs but under them? Wow. I'm so grateful. So grateful for for being a human being. So grateful. So grateful that everything is proportioned. The ears are in place, the fingers, the toes, my nose is in place, my lips, everything. Everything's right where it needs to be. Everything's structured, exactly the way that it needs to be. I'm glad that, my organs, they're where they're supposed to be. And, have you all really looked at the inside of a human being and just looked at how all of the organs are strategically placed? The rib cage is strategically placed. The lungs are strategically placed. The heart, the small intestine, the large intestine, everything is perfectly placed to function without us having to do anything. So life isn't perfect. You can't convince me that life isn't perfect. Nobody can convince me that anymore. No one. Everything is perfect. And there has to be duality in this perfect world. If there were no wars, there would be no peace. If there was no bad, there would be no good. If there was no light, there would be no dark. Can you imagine if the sun never set and the moon just didn't do its thing at night? Can you imagine how imbalanced we would be? We wouldn't live. We would die if the sun was just always out. Even I think it's Antarctica that has 6 months of sun and 6 months of darkness. Even even for them, they still have to get a balance. Nature still knows how to balance them out. This matrix, this program still has a setup for them. But can you just imagine if we just only had one thing? Can you imagine if everybody was just happy all the time? A lot of people want that. A lot of people want that whole peace on earth. Everybody's happy. Yeah, you really think about that. Take a moment to think about that one. Just pure happiness on earth, huh? No balance, nothing to counter it. Yeah, too much of anything is can be a overload. So we have to really learn how to appreciate life and all that it brings and all that it has to offer, and just really enjoy this temporary moment. Life is just one long moment. Even if you live to be 100 years old, that 100 years is just one moment. And we just happen to break it down into 100 years. So let's enjoy our moment, no matter how long it may be. Let's make the best of what we have. We've already come with the perfect machine. We have tools. We have each other. We have so many things working in our favor to have a beautiful moment here on earth. So that concludes my rant or motivational speech or weird and wacky moment, whatever you want to call it, however you take it and absorb it into your inner being. Please visit my website, www.transcending, freeyourmindtoshine.com. You can get your free DNA genetic blueprint. Only if it's to have in your possession, just it's yours. Embrace yourself. Embrace your genetics. Embrace your divine plan and formula. And for those that are interested in having any personal sessions with me, or if you would like to learn human design so that you can teach it and share it with others, I do classes as well. For those that are just really ecstatic and excited about human design, and you're influential and impactful to others, and you want to share it and tell other people to get human design readings, I have commissions available. So you can get paid for your enthusiasm, and you can get free readings if you like. But this work needs to be shared. This information needs to be shared with others, and it can help. It can help tremendously with people learning how to dissolve those layers of pain and suffering and dissatisfaction and trauma and hurt and all of that, and get us to love again, to uncover that deep buried love that we're all essentially born with. Life is love. Our bodies were clearly made out of love. The perfection of these machines that we're operating in, they were not made out of hate. I don't believe that. I don't feel that. I don't believe it. These machines are perfect. But it's our lack of awareness that causes us to unconsciously trash our bodies. It's our lack of awareness and love for ourselves that causes us to not appreciate and love our bodies. But as long as you're still a bubble floating about, you always have an opportunity to step into that appreciation and step into that knowing and embrace that you are a divine, walking, talking, living, breathing miracle with the plan that's already laid out for you. So thank you all for tuning in and listening to this audio. Free your mind to shine. Until next time.